Hi, I know what you've all been wanting to know. I know the question you've all been asking yourself and asking me on Instagram. What does this man do for a living? How does he afford all of these things? Why is he so pretty? Okay, so let's solve this puzzle, yeah? So, I am Cambodian. Now, which actress is known to adopt children? Which actress filmed a movie in Cambodia and loved it so much she has a bunch of tattoos in that language? Which actress adopt a kid from Cambodia that should be around 18 to 23 now? Have you solved the puzzle yet? Alright, let me give you the answer. I am Maddox Jolie. Yes, Angelina Jolie is my mother. Brad Pitt is my father. Makasy is just an alias. Come on, man. Okay, let's be real. Who would name their son Makasy? That's not even a real word. This is just an alias that I came up with when I was 12. Like, I put into the name generation thing. Now that you know my real identity, please stop asking me how I make my money, okay? My mom is Angelina Jolie. Speaking of, go support her new film, The Eternal. It looks great. MCU is awesome. Let's get started, baby. Hi, my name is Makasy, and today we have this dumb hat on me because I don't wear that enough. So I'm gonna immortalize this hat in this video. So my most viewed video is the Tabi boot, and you know, I appreciate everybody loving it, but I still see a lot of flaws in there and I feel I can do better. So in 30 minutes or less, or 40 minutes or less, we will see if I can make that statement a true statement. Alright, so this video is already long enough, and in an effort to make it shorter, I have attached a link to an article that is like talking about the Tabi boots, a bit of history with the Maison, stuff like that. So the link will be on my Instagram bio. Alright, so detail time. So introduced at the very first show of the Maison for the spring-summer 1989 season, the Tabi shoes take inspiration from the traditional Japanese split-toe sock bearing the same name. A heritage classic of the Maison, which perfectly captured its avant-garde and insubordinate spirit, this footwear piece has been revisited in different traditions throughout the history of the fashion house. First, I'm gonna break everything down into really small details. So first, let's talk about the leather. So it is 100% bovine leather. You know, it's super soft. You know, it's not as thick as my Guidi or Rick Owens. And
yeah. You're beautiful, you're fierce and strong. Don't let those haters do you wrong. Look in the mirror, wipe away those tears, pick yourself up, dust yourself off. If you wanna say it, I'm good. If you wanna feel it, I'm good. Know you got a heart upon your powerful, you know it's true.
one thing I do want to say is that I hope they didn't make it thin just to make it thin, just for the sake of it. Like, it being thin makes me feel like I have to be a bit more careful, and you know, because if I'm not careful, the leather will, you know, just fall apart much faster. And you know, again, it's incredibly soft and it's incredibly smooth, and I know it won't stay this way. All right, by the way, so this script has been, you know, I've written the script 2 weeks ago. I've worn it a few times now, so yeah, I will show you the photo of what they actually look like now after a wear or two.
Don't you know you got it? I'm good. Don't you know you're everything and more? There's only one you, only one beautiful you. Baby, you're beautiful. Baby, you're beautiful. You got the fight, you got the will. You got a beauty that is real.
After a wear or two, you can see how much prettier they are. Like the crease and the stacking, it looks a lot better. All right, so one thing I should note is that unlike my Rick Owens boots, the leather throughout the body has the same texture and weight. This means that the leather on the edges aren't hardened like the Rick Owens, which what gave me the blister on my pinky toes. All right, so this is just to show you how hard it is. So let's start with the Margiela Tabi. If I press anywhere, do you see how soft it is? Do you see how there's no hardened like edges? With this, look, I'm pressing it really hard and there's no dent. If I press here, there's a dent in the middle. But see how this like this area right here, this is where your toe will be. This is how it fucked me up. So like, look at how hard I'm trying to press it now, and it's not even going in. See that? So like, you really have to break these in first, which I have not done yet. But yeah, so if I press anywhere up top here, it'll go in. But anywhere here, see how it's not going in at all? So you really have to break the leather in this area down first. Like, it really fucks up your toe, like your big toe, your small toes, everywhere. It just, because you know, it's hard leather, you have to break it. What I'm trying to say is that you don't have to break it in. Like, these boots are already so soft. The bovine leather is already so soft. Like, you don't really have to break it in anymore. It's just like, it's broken in. Like, it's the bovine leather, super soft, and I really enjoy it. It's just a bit thin for my sake. So I was also talking to one of my friends on Instagram, and we were talking about the Wyatt, the Saint Laurent Wyatt, and you know, he has the Wyatt. He's looking to get the Margiela Tabi, and we just talked about how the bovine leather and the calf leather that SLP use. I mean, yeah, it's a calf skin. Yeah, calf skin. Like, we were just talking about how they're so different. Because like, I've had the fortune to try on both shoes. Like, when Barney was still open, I tried on a pair of Wyatt, so I know what the leather feels like, and I've owned a few Tabis now, so I can tell you the difference. So like, we were just talking, and you know, one is soft as hell, and one is Saint Laurent as hell. You know, let's make a comparison. Let's make a real life comparison. Margiela is like a woman's ass, you know, it's soft, it's supple, you know. The Wyatt, the leather, like, it's like a man's ass. It's rough, tough texture, unexplained spots everywhere, feels more flat, and you know, just overall something you don't want to get your face near there, you know. Anyway, back to the leather. So it's a 2-cut leather. They stitch it up by the middle, which go down to the Tabi split. Honestly though, I kind of wish it was one smooth leather. So I don't know, it's just like small details that you would notice when you wear them, because like, when you look down, you can see the stitching, which is a bit weird sometimes, but I know why they did it that way, because you know, they have to keep the boots together somehow. They also reinforce the ankle region. Actually, here, let me show you the inside and the out. So as you can see, the leather on the inside, on the ankle part, like at the very bottom, I think it's untreated leather, or it hasn't been smoothed out. I don't know if this is on purpose, or if Margiela thought, no one's gonna look in there, what's the point? I just cut some corners, save some money. If I am correct though, you know, Martin would not approve of this. Galliano, the team at Margiela, Martin would not approve of this. Don't cut any corner, don't ruin the house, come on. Honestly though, it's such a small detail, like only freak like me that goes in and like look for every little detail I would notice. Like, you probably don't even, most people when they buy, they probably don't even look at every inches of the boots. Something else about the leather. So it's actually shinier than I would like it to be, because it's smooth leather, it's not grain. And I think after 2 to 3 months of wear, where I really break it down, where the creases happen, where the creases are more prominent and the stacking is more prominent, the shininess would go away as like dust, dirt, everything, rain, snow will hit it. You know, it just, I think beat up boots look better, especially with the Margiela. All right, anyway, so that was like a solid 2-3 minutes on leather. Let's move on. So next thing I want to talk about is, you know, the split toe, the Tabi split. So I grew up in Cambodia, and in Cambodia, most people wear sandals, and you know, thong sandal is one of the most popular things in Cambodia. So for me, it wasn't that big of a transition for me, because like, I know what it feels like to wear the thong sandal, so I know what the split toe feels like. If all you ever want are sneakers, it's gonna be a longer adjustment period, but I find that you only notice the split when you look at it. You know, it's like, an example of this would be like, it's like when you have a cut on your body, like you don't know it, you don't notice it, you don't feel it, but once you see it, once you see the bleeding, you're like, oh fuck, there's a cut here, and then you start feeling the pain. Like, same concept applies to the split toe. Like, you won't feel it. You will need a special socks, and you know, I will link the socks that I buy for these. It's on Amazon, it's pretty cheap. Oh, speaking of, I'm gonna show you something that I don't believe anybody has ever put on the internet, which is what the inside of the Tabi boots look like. I'm gonna show you the split. So, you know, this might break some fashion law, but Makasy's for the people. So as you can see, you know, it's just a thin black leather split, so it won't, you know, it's very soft and comfy. You won't get any blister from them. Like, don't worry about that. I didn't get any blister between my big toe and the other 4 toes. So you know you're good. The next thing I want to talk about is the cylinder heel. So the height of the heel is 2.7 inches or 60 millimeter or 65 millimeter. I checked Margiela website and Farfetch. One says 60, one says 65. So let's split the difference and say it's higher than what most men will wear, because you know they don't have the confidence to pull it off, and you know they're a bit insecure about their masculinity, you know, just a little bit. The height of the heel. So for me, I didn't switch from sneakers to this right away because it is quite high. It's 65 or 60, whatever it is. So it is quite high. So I have boots that are 25, 35, 45. So it was gradual for me. So the adjustment period wasn't that long. I don't think there even was an adjustment period. Like I just got used to the height right away. And if you are coming from sneakers to these boots, I think it should probably only take you 2-3 days, and then you're probably gonna get used to the height. Another thing I want to show you, that the cylinder heel, it's actually very unique. Most boots, like they have this shape heels, right? The cylinder heel is a bit more feminine. It's a bit more like androgynous, which I love. Like if you own any other type of boots, like just wear it for an hour, the cylinder heel, you won't notice it. It doesn't make that big of a difference. Also, if you look here, you can see that there's two textures to these cylinder blocks. I think the bottom is probably a mix with leather and plastic or some other soft material to help alleviate the force that you get from walking. You know, it's small details like this that I appreciate, like small details like this that I know that like the makers like really thought everything out. The next thing to talk about is the adjustable conceal hook and the eye side fastening. Fastening? How you wear the boots. All right, so honestly it's a pain in the ass when you put things into perspective. Like I would much rather prefer a zip up version. Like this is so much more time consuming and it's not as secure. Like if you own any Tabi boots, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The top always fall off, or the middle. The bottom never come out though for some reason, but the middle or the top, for me it's the middle hook. For some other people I know that like they ask me about like how to prevent the top hook, which I will get into a bit later. I think this design is just like for the design's sake of being different. I think that just Margiela overcompensating. Like Margiela, you're fine. You don't have to be so different from everyone all the time. You already have the split toe. You're already different from everyone, baby. You are doing good. Don't try to do more than, don't try to overcompensate, baby. You're just fine. Being you is just fine. Okay. We know you're better than Saint Laurent, Margiela. We know you're better from Saint Laurent. Speaking of Saint Laurent, I actually feel so bad for Anthony, because like Francois just like making him continue to design in the heady aesthetic. Cause like you can tell it, like Francois, which is he's the CEO of Kering. Like you can tell that like he went into Anthony's office and just like what Hedy was doing was working. Please continue. Don't try to bring anything new. Just do what Hedy did. Can we all agree that's what like Francois said to Anthony in that office? Like, come on Francois, just let Anthony, you know, design his own thing for a collection, and if it fails, then so okay, you need to get back on the Hedy aesthetic. We need money because it is a business. All right, so the next thing is the vachetta color. Vachetta. The next thing is the vachetta color leather insole. I love it. I love the insole so much. What I mean by that is, first, let's compare it to the shitty Saint Laurent insole. I'm gonna put a photo here. You can see that they cut it off before where your toes are, which is super weird because you can feel that bump. And in my case, I felt that bump, and then the glue came off. So then like half, 3/4 of the insole came off, so then it was bothering my feet. So then I tried to put more glue and tape it back down, and then one thing led to another. This is the condition that it's in right now. So these boots, they're kind of ruined if I don't put any insole. Like I will feel all the bumps, and just, you know, it sucks so much. Like I still don't know why some brand do that. Like come on, like I love you, Margiela. Thank you for putting a full insole, you fucking bitch, Saint Laurent bitch boy. God, I hate that brand. It's so boring. Anyway, Yeah, the insole is super practical, and you know, I love the color, the vachetta color or the tan color. It looks beautiful. Good job, buddy. The insole though, the insole, they're very slippery. Maybe this is like a case of a new boot, but so far they're very slippery. But on my old pair, they're also very slippery. Like it takes a bit of time to adjust. Like I'm probably gonna double socks it. I'll talk about sizing later. Anyway, yeah, they're pretty slippery. Next, let's talk about the midsole. I do not like the midsole. It's too thin for me. So, like, it's just not too much support. Like, as you can see by this video right now, like, I'm not a big fan. Though I do see why, because like, if it's too thick, it might make the boots look a bit uglier. I don't want to draw too much comparison to my Guidi because I tend to do that a lot lately. But Guidi boots is okay. Guidi boots is like having sex with Hayley Williams. You know, perfect. Beautiful, perfect. And then when you come back to the Margiela midsole, it's like having sex with Candace Owen. She's gonna be screaming at you the whole time while you're having sex.
You know, COVID isn't real, you know. COVID is just like the flu. We don't shut down the government. We don't shut down the economy every year when the flu season hits.
Listen here, you fucking cunt. I digress. Also, I do not like the outsoles at all because it's incredibly smooth. So this means that it is slippery. Like, do not wear this in the snow on your first time because like try to break it in first, try to give them a bit of wear so then like there are holes and like, you know, scratches to like hold you in place when you walk on the snow. I'm probably gonna end up adding an outsole to these. I'm gonna try not to add a vibrant, but like something thinner than a vibrant because I think the silhouette right now, it's perfect, it's beautiful. If I add too thick of a outsole, I feel like it will ruin the whole silhouette. Does that make sense? I'm afraid it might make the shoes look too chunky, and they're already chunky enough. And I wore it the other day to Boston with my mom, and it was a bit more slippery than I would like it to be. Like when I was like walking into the Asian supermarket with my mom, like I was like slid and slide a little bit when I just like walk without like watching where I'm going, like where I'm just vibing out to the music. So like we just a few slipped in here. So I think adding an extra outsole so to make the grip more prominent, I feel like that's the best option. Oh, something else I want to say is that the outsole super sensitive. All right, this is the photo of it after one wear. This is the photo. One wear, and this is how fucked up they get.
Hold your head high, you're one of a kind. There's only one you, one beautiful you. If you wanna say it, I'm good. If you wanna feel it, I'm good. Girl, you got a heart of gold, you're powerful.
All right, next up. So the vachetta colored interior, the leather interior. So honestly, I love the color of this interior. I know they make one. I know they make a few Tabi with the red insole, with the red interior, and you know I do like it. It's a bit whorish, which I like. You know, sometimes you just want to whore out. I think if they were to make it black, it would be a bit too plain, too boring. Like this is a very subtle detail for the wearer. This isn't a detail for the observers to see, because when you wear your boots, like you're gonna zip everything up, clasp everything up. So this is something that only you would notice, and you know I think that's a nice touch. Obviously the back of the boots, you know, the one strip, the Margiela strip, you know, I might actually cut it just to see what's up with it. Who knows, one day. All right, so the weight, I do want to talk about it. So I have a unique perspective on this because, you know, I have the 25mm and I have the 65mm. For some reason, like when I have both of these in my hands, the 25mm is a bit heavier. Now you would think the 65mm would be, you know, like heavier because there's more material, there's more leather stacked leather. But I think so the 25mm is grain leather. This is smooth leather, so I feel like the grain is definitely heavier than the smooth leather. Maybe I'll insert a clip of me like weighing these boots just to show you how much they weigh. All right, next up. So let's talk about the stitching. So I'm gonna overlay this with the video right now. So it's single stitch, and the stitches aren't consistent. You know, some strands are longer, some are shorter. It's very inconsistent. Not to mention that the price is, you know, $1,200. You know, I want better quality control before these leave the arm of an old Italian woman eating spaghetti while, you know, making these boots. I feel like with boots that have leather that is this soft and the silhouette is on, like, and the silhouette is like, you know, if I want to, I can crush the whole boot into a ball. That's how soft the leather is. I think for boots that have both of these conditions, I think they should have probably like double stitch it or triple stitch it just to really make sure it stays. You know what I mean? Unless someone from Margiela, you know, they can email me and tell me why it's single stitch, why single stitch is the best option instead of, you know, double or triple. You know, because there is that saying like sometimes doing too much can be a detriment to the final result. So, you know, by the way, this is just me trying to get Margiela to email me so I can, you know, email them, be like, hey, do you have an extra ticket for the runway? You know, I can fly myself out. You don't have to pay for my hotel. Like, I'll do that all myself. Just give me the ticket and, you know, some free stuff from the new collection. And finally, made in fascists. I mean Italy. Come on, Makasy. The price of these. So I was able to get these for $70. You know, don't ask me how. Moving on, is it worth the price tag? Well, for $70, I think it's incredibly worth it, just my opinion, you know. But for $1,200, not at all. Wait for the sale. I think this is the most important part, other than like the detail part, the detail aspect. So, sizing. Once again, I am a natural 43, and as you can tell, or as you would, what am I trying to say? I got a size 43. My God. I gotta stop trying to be funny so much. Like trying too hard, it just cringe. So I got a size 43 and it fits me true to size, and I intend to double socks these just because I like how comfortable that is, because you can't really go out and try to find a Tabi split insole. So, you know, like it's easier to double sock it. So I'm gonna double sock it for the extra comfort. You know, like there's enough space for me, because I like my boots to have a little space in there, so I can just, you know, wiggle in and out. And you know, when you wear tight boots, when you walk, you're gonna feel every single step. If it's a bit loose, you can always double sock it. You can also triple sock it. You can do many things to boots or shoes that are a bit too loose, but you can't do much when it's too tight. Don't give me that bullshit that leather stretches. They do, but not by half a size or a full size. Like, I don't understand how people keep recommending.
You should go one full size down.
What are you talking about? If I were to get this in a 9 in a 42, I would, dude, these boots would kill me the first 25 minutes. Like these recommendations, oh man. All right, so let's just wrap everything up about the quality aspect. So the quality of the leather, it's not great. It's a bit thin for my sake, but judging by how my other pair has held up, I'm sure like they picked this on purpose, like just to make the silhouette look better. Like I'm sure they could have used calf skin, but you know, they probably, you know, want to use bovine. I don't know which one's more expensive, but anyway, bovine leather. It's good, but it's a bit too thin for my sake. The quality of the midsole, it's fucking shitty. There's no support. It's way too thin, as you saw by the clip earlier. It's too thin. The quality of the split toe, the Tabi split, amazing. Like as you can, I already showed you the inside of the Tabi, like the leather split thing. It's very soft, and the split, it's very comfortable. Like they could not have done a better job on this. The quality of the block heel, the cylinder heel, I like it a lot. I wish it was a bit softer. I wish that tiny tidbit at the end was like more plasticky, so it can absorb the shock of the walking better. But you know, you choose your battle. The quality of the stitching, 1 out of 10, I would say 5. There are way too many inconsistencies that I see throughout these boots. Like some strands are too long, some are too short, some like the spacing, it's all over the place. Like this is all minute detail. Comfort, so they are comfortable for the first 2 hours. From that 3rd to 5th hour, you're gonna feel that pain a little bit. It won't be unbearable, but you will feel that pain. And then finally, when you're on the home stretch, when you just got off the train or got out of the car and you're going home after 5-6 hours of wear, when you take it off, you're gonna feel everything in your feet. You're gonna feel everything. It's gonna hurt you for an hour or two. I have 2 versions, right? I have the 25mm and I have the 65mm. Surprisingly, I find the 65mm to be a lot more comfortable. Maybe that's because like the 25mm, you're too close to the ground and there's no support. Like there's no boost technology from Adidas. There's no fly knit, whatever technology Nike has. When I wear my 65mm, it's a bit more comfortable for me. Like maybe that's just me, but yeah, I think something to do with how there's no proper support and how close you are to the ground with the 25mm makes it less comfortable than the 65mm. Versatility. So I already made a video about this, like versatility, you know, with skinny, straight, wide-legged, denim, every other pair of pants. So if you want to go watch that video real quick, I do find these to be incredibly versatile, which I love because, you know, my closet, I don't own like a vast variety of like different bottoms, different trousers, so you know it's a bit limited because like I know what I like, I know how I like it to be, and I'm glad these boots fits into my wardrobe very well, so that's always a plus. All right, so what drew me to this piece? Well, obviously, you know, the split toes, the history behind it. I do like Martin a lot. I do like what he has done for the fashion industry, you know, with his earlier fashion runway shows. Like he pretty much reinvented the whole thing. And you know, I think, you know, a lot of people draw inspiration from, like, you know, Demna. I've heard Rick Owen also draw inspiration from him, Raf Simon for sure. Like he pioneered a lot of these like strange fashion runways, because prior to him, like, you know, everybody was doing it near the Louvre in a tent. So, you know, that's something that's cool. And I do like the cylinder heel a lot. It's feminine, it's androgynous, and I love that. Styling. So I'm not gonna put the styling into this video because I don't really have time to film a styling video because I work 7 days a week, and most of the time, like, I would like to put out more videos, but most of the time the styling segment always like keep me from posting them when I really want to, because it's hard for me to find time to film it. So I would try to film a lookbook or a styling video for these Tabi boots, but please don't count on it. So my opinion on this piece, let's take this thing off. Alright, so my opinion on this piece. You know, despite all the little flaws that I point out, despite all of those things, I really love the silhouette. I really love the boots, because like these flaws are just minute detail that like you really have to zone in to really see it. If you just look at it from afar, it's perfect. It's androgynous, it's feminine, because, you know, these were originally, they only made these for women, and they only recently started making these for men, I believe, like 2016, 2017, like something like that. The split toe, the cylinder heels, the bovine leather, I do like it. Despite how thin it is soft, and I like the fact that you don't have to break it in, you know, like that's always a big plus. And you know, I'm happy that these boots are getting like the publicity that they deserve, because they're great boots, and I think everybody should have a pair if they want a pair. I'm not one of those people where I don't want the public to know or to wear what I wear. Like sometimes the hippie in me sometimes don't like it, but I'm glad that these boots are becoming more popular in the mainstream, because, you know, I want to see them out more in public. I want to see them when I go on the train. I want to see them when I'm in Boston, New York, Los Angeles, wherever it is. Like I want to see more of it, because I don't know, I have a fondness for the brand Margiela, despite it being under, you know, under a conglomerate. I do like the brand a lot. I do like what they're doing. I think these boots will definitely come to define the contemporary fashion, like 30-40 years from now, looking back in the 90s and early 2000 and 2020s. Like these boots are going to be one of the things that like that historian would be like, that item defined that era. So like it's nice to own a pair of boots that, you know, will be in that conversation, because it's like a way of like letting people know like you're in the in, you know what I mean? Like you're in on the joke. I think this video is long enough. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for interacting with me on Instagram. I love talking to people. I love talking fashion. I don't have a lot of fashion friends, and it's nice to talk about fashion with people who share the same enthusiasm. So, you know, don't be afraid to talk to me. I'm very friendly. I hope you getting that vibe. I hope I don't seem unapproachable, or, you know, I hope I don't seem like a dick where you don't want to talk to me. But yeah, anyway, that's just tangent. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. My name's Makasy. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. Have a great day. Bye.
Look in the mirror, wipe away those tears, pick yourself up, dust yourself off. If you wanna say it,